Hi, this is Julie from Totally Holistic Health, and thank you so much for joining me this morning. I'm going to offer a lovely, gentle opening up yoga practice for the morning. Obviously, it can be done any time of the day, but it's quite nice in the morning when you're feeling a little bit kinked up and just ready to stretch out after a good night's sleep. So I've got a few blankets underneath my bottom just to raise my bum up. If you've got cushions, you can use a pillow, or if you've got a bolster, that's absolutely fine. But aside from that, you should be able to manage without. So we're just going to first of all allow ourselves to become into a little sense of stillness. So if you're happy to close your eyes, if not, just gazing down a little bit towards the floor. Just pulling the belly slightly in towards the spine. Just drawing yourself in nice and tall. Just imagine that lovely flow of energy from the top of the head all the way down to your tailbone. I'm going to focus on our breath just for the first few moments, just breathing gently in and out through the nose. And very slowly, just opening our eyes. So we're going to start off just by opening up the body, just stretching out a little bit just to start our day. So we're going to just bring the chin down towards the chest. So try to, again, keeping that lovely core engaged, slowly bring the chin down towards the chest. Just make sure the shoulders are nicely placed down your back. And we're going to just roll your right ear onto your right shoulder. So again, notice those shoulders, slowly slide them down the back. Feel that lovely stretch in the left side of the neck. And if you do need to breathe into that area, if it feels a little bit tight and achy, just see if you can focus on the breath into that area. Just see if you can slowly release any tension. And if that does feel okay, you can increase that stretch just a little bit by just stretching your left arm out. So just pointing the fingertips up towards the ceiling, just gently pushing the palm away. Just slowly adding a little bit of extra stretch into that neck. And then bringing your left arm back, roll your chin down to your chest. And then bring your left ear onto the left shoulder. And again, just notice the shoulders just sliding down the back. Notice how that feels in the right side of your neck. Again, use the breath. Do you feel you need to release? And again, if that feels okay and you want to increase that stretch, just sliding the right palm away, stretching out that right arm, just to add that little bit of an extra stretch there. But again, if you've got issues with your neck and it hurts, just put your hand back. Bring the arm back, just roll the chin back down to the chest. Again, nice and tall, just bring the head back up. We're going to release the wrists, so bring the hands out in front of us, so just stretching forward with those palms, so fingertips really spreading nice and wide, really stretching the thumbs, the forefingers away. And again, really lovely stretch on the underside of your arms. If you want to just slowly pull the fingers back a little bit just to get an extra stretch, that's fine. Just notice how that feels again. And then maybe bringing the hands down towards the floor. So just feel that lovely stretch on the top of your arms. And again, if you're stuck at a desk or you've been working a lot on laptops and things, you tend to find your wrists get a little bit crunchy. So again, it's quite nice. And also, again, just pulling the fingertips back down. If that feels okay, just be really careful. If you've got something like RSI or carpal tunnel, it might be a little bit uncomfortable. So just be really mindful of how that feels in your body. And just slowly just rotating the wrists gently. See how that feels, and then the opposite direction. And now I'm going to bring the hands onto the shoulders. Just do some very slow circles with those elbows, just to release the shoulders. Noticing any cracks and crunches. Rather cracky and crunchy this morning. And then slowly going in the opposite direction. So if you've been going backwards, just come forwards. Wonderful. And then we're going to open up the side body now. So we're going to bring the soles of our feet together. So just to get a lovely stretch on the inside of the thighs at the same time. So again, just allow yourself to come nice and tall. So if you have got a cushion underneath your bottom, this makes it look much easier. So if you find you're slouching a little bit, just popping something underneath your bottom just makes it much, much easier. So we're going to bring the right hand onto the floor next to us. With the left arm, we're going to sweep that overhead, slowly stretching out the left side of our bodies. And then bringing the left arm down, sweeping the right arm overhead. And bringing that arm down. So we're going to bring both our hands into an interlock in front of us, push the palms away, dropping the head down between your arms. At the same time, just pulling the belly back towards the spine a little bit. So what you should find is your shoulder blades are almost like separating away from your spine. And releasing your hands. Bring the interlock just behind your back now. So just draw the fingertips down towards your bottom. So again, shoulder blades together. Just try to imagine you've got a pencil between your shoulder blades. So you can stay upright if that feels okay. If your hips are tight, this might be all you can do. But you can increase that stretch in the hips a little bit. So just by bringing the chest forward. So again, keep the chest up, the head up. Allowing the chest to come forward. So not overstretching anything, just noticing where that little bit of tension is in your hips. And then gently relieving back up to centre. Fantastic. So we're going to come onto our hands and knees now. So if you've got issues with your knees, you might want to pop a blanket underneath your knees. If you're feeling okay, then that's fine. I'm going to put something underneath my knees. Just a bit of extra padding, or you can just fold up your mat. If you've got a mat, just fold it up a little bit so you've got a little bit of extra padding there. So we're going to come onto our hands and knees. And the main thing is try to make sure you're spreading your fingertips out onto the floor. So you're really engaging your thumb, your index finger into the mat, pushing away from the mat. Just make sure your elbow creases are facing each other, your hips underneath your knees. And we're going to slowly just mobilise your spine, just bring your belly down towards the floor as your head comes up, breathing in. And then pushing away from the floor, breathing out. Dropping the belly down, breathing in. And away, breathing out. And coming to a nice neutral spine. So we're going to step our right foot forward, just onto the outside of both our hands. So this is quite a strong hip opener. So with your left hand, we're going to plant the left hand just onto the outside of the mat and slowly rotate round to the right with our right hand. And if you want to, you can just drop that knee out a little bit. Just bring the weight to the outside of that right foot, if that feels okay. If not, just keeping it where it is. Stretching up. And then bringing your right hand back down and just move the hands either side of that front foot, slowly sweeping our arms up. Really strong back bend here. Bring the hands together if you want. Dropping the hips down and bringing the hands back either side of that front foot. Bring both our knees together, same with the left side. So we're going to bring the left foot just to the outside of both our feet, both our hands. Bringing the right hand onto the floor. So just sweeping the left arm up, opening up the chest to the left. So if you want to bring the weight to the outside of that left foot, you can. Opening up the hip a little bit more. And then we're going to bring both our hands just to frame that left foot, sweeping the arms up, dropping the hips down. Bringing both hands either side of your front foot, and then we're going to bring both feet together, knees apart, just slowly dropping down into a pose of a child as we're reaching forward with your arms, just for a couple of breaths. And then coming back onto all fours. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Knees underneath your hips. We're going to curl the toes under, slowly pushing into that lovely downward dog. I'm just going to move my blanket out of the way. So it's quite nice just to pedal out with the feet. If you are a little bit tight in your hips or your back, maybe just bring your feet to as wide as the mat to start off with. Just take the pressure off. So just coming onto the toes, reaching back with your bottom to slowly stretch out. Wonderful. And then we're going to bend the knees and slowly walk the hands back to join our feet. We're coming into a lovely forward fold. So just make sure the knees are bent enough just to allow you to stretch that lovely back fascia on the body. Slowly coming up to standing. Fantastic. So we're going to come to the front of our mat. I'm just going to turn around. Bring the hands into our heart centre. So make sure that your feet are about hip width apart and really feel that lovely connection down into the earth. So slowly pulling the belly in, just dropping the bottom down, opening up the chest. So pushing the hands together at the heart centre just to open up the heart centre. We're going to do a gentle sun salutation breath. So we're going to breathe in as we bring the arms above the head. And breathing out, just coming down onto the floor, fingertips just gently touching the floor. Sliding the hands up to the knees, flat back, breathing in. Fingertips back down onto the floor, breathing out. Sweeping the arms overhead, pushing down with the feet, breathing in. Hands into the heart centre, breathing out. Breathing in, arms above the head, sweeping the arms down towards the floor, breathing out. Flat back, breathing in. Breathing out. Fingertips all the way up to the ceiling, breathing in. And hands into your heart centre, breathing out. Wonderful. Take a couple of breaths here. Now we're going to just reach back with our left foot. So we're going to come into warrior one. So make sure that your left hip is coming forward, your right hip is coming back, and we're going to put a little bend in that right knee. So again, a really strong grounding down with that back leg. Pushing the palms together, opening up the heart. We're going to bring the arms into cactus arms. So just as you bring the arms back, slowly bring the back bend in. Just make sure you engage your core just to protect your spine. And then we're going to reach forward, slowly bringing the arms. So you're trying to catch a big beach ball. Just bring the head in line with your arms, pushing back into cactus arms. Reaching forward. Coming back into cactus arms. And then we're going to bring the hands back into our heart centre. Slowly going to straighten up your right leg, coming into pyramid pose. Bring the hands into that interlock behind the back. Draw the fingertips down towards your bottom. And slowly we're going to come forward into a nice flat back. So again, really grounding down with your feet. Just see if you can just slide your fingertips a little bit lower down towards your bottom, reaching forward with your head. And if you fancy it, you can continue to go down, see if you can get your nose to your knee. But again, that's not essential, it's just an addition. Just notice if you're holding your breath, keeping your breath nice and steady. Slowly pushing up with the feet, coming back into pyramid. Okay, so we're going to step back just a little bit more with this left leg. Slowly twisting the pelvis round to the front, putting a bend into that right knee, just coming into warrior two. So the main thing is that this knee stays on this side of your ankle. If you find your knee overshooting, just bringing it back. You should see like your big toe sticking out the front of your knee. Bringing your arms up. Really strong with your arms. Maybe turn the palms up, so just dropping the shoulder blades down your back just a little bit more. And then turning the palms to face down, reaching forward with the right hand, sweeping it overhead, bring your left arm onto your back leg into reverse warrior. Really feel your feet grounding down. And then we're going to bring your right forearm onto the right thigh. So try to open up the chest, bring the left hand just around the back of your hip, just to allow that hip to, or the chest to rotate round up towards the ceiling. And slowly bringing that left arm overhead into extended side angle. Nice long line from the tips of the fingers down to your toes. So we'll bring the top arm up towards the ceiling. Bring your right hand just on the inside of your shin, pushing the hips over to the left, straightening your right leg into triangle. Breathing, a couple of breaths here. So we're going to push down with the feet, sweeping the right arm up into reverse triangle. And then gently coming back. Allowing both our arms to come by our side. We're going to turn the feet to face the front. Maybe just pushing the heels out a little bit more than your toes. Coming into a flat back. So just hinging from the hips. Allowing the chest to come forward onto the floor. So the weight comes a little bit more into the heels and the toes. Maybe wiggling your toes. And I'm going to bring the right hand underneath where your head is, just slowly rotating round to the left, opening up the chest to the left. Bring that left hand back down, underneath the head, rotating round to the right. Bring the right hand back down onto the floor, and we're going to heel toe the feet together, coming into a lovely forward fold. So bring the feet to about hip width apart, slowly hooking your thumbs onto the inside of your elbows, drawing your arms down towards the floor, just rocking a little bit from side to side. And then slowly sliding up to standing. So bring both arms above the head, breathing in and then breathing out. Okay, so we're going to come back to the front of our mats. So again, make sure that your feet are about hip width apart. Engage your core, just tuck your bottom under. Bring the hands into your heart centre. So breathing in, bring the arms above the head. Sweeping the arms down towards the floor, breathing out, just dropping the head down. Coming into a half lift, breathing in, breathing out. Fingertips onto the floor. Slowly reaching up towards the ceiling, breathing in, grounding down with those feet. Breathing out as you bring your hands back into your heart centre. Couple of breaths here. I'm going to reach back with our right foot now into warrior one. So again, just putting a little bend into that right knee, so grounding down, left knee, bring grounding down with that right leg, bringing the left hip back, right hip forward, nice and strong in your hands, pushing your hands together. So we're going to bring the hands into cactus arms, little back bend, then reaching forward just to catch that beach ball. Bring the head just in line with your arms, pushing back, reaching forward. Back into cactus arms. Bring your hands back into your heart centre. So we're going to straighten your left leg now into pyramid. Bring your arms into that interlock behind the back. Draw your fingertips down towards the bottom. Make sure that your hips are square onto the front of your mat. Slowly bringing your chest forward into a nice flat back. reaching forward with your head. And again, if you want to, you can continue down to see if your nose will come down to your knee. But again, you don't have to. Coming back up to standing, releasing the hands. So we're going to step back with your right leg, coming into warrior two. So just turning your hips towards the long side of your mat, bending your left knee. So again, just watch your knee. Make sure that you can see your big toe out the end of your knee, bringing your arms up. So nice and strong in your arms. Rotate your palms up, so just drop those shoulder blades down the back. If you can, just maybe just bring the hands a little bit behind you as well, just to really open up your chest. And then turn the palms back down towards the floor. We're going to reach forward with your left palm and reaching overhead into reverse warrior. Right hand onto your back leg. Now the left forearm comes onto the left thigh. Slowly bringing your right arm just behind you, just to open up the chest up towards the ceiling. And then reaching over with that right hand just to get a lovely extended side angle. Bring the arm up towards the ceiling. Bring the left hand just on the inside of that shin. Push the hips to the right, dropping down into triangle. A couple of breaths here. Grounding down with your feet, slowly sweeping the left arm over, reverse triangle. And then slowly bring it back to centre. So I'm just going to turn all the way around here. Right way around now. So we're going to turn both our feet to face the front. So just kick those heels away. Bring the hands onto the floor. So a nice flat back. So bring the weight into the heels again. And I'm going to walk both my hands over to my left foot. So just reaching across. So you've got a lovely stretch in the right side of the body. Back to centre. Reaching across to the right side. Reaching across that foot or beyond. Nice stretch in the left side. Coming back to centre. And I'm going to heel toe the feet together. Gently, slowly. And then just bending your elbows, just hooking the thumbs just onto the inside of your elbows, drawing your elbows down towards the floor. And then slowly sliding up to standing, breathing in, bring the arms above the head. And then coming back down into your heart centre. Brilliant. So we're going to come just to the back of your mat. Again, feet back, hip width apart. So we're going to come into a nice ragdoll. So here we're going to just imagine you've got a couple of really heavy bags of shopping. So just allow them just to draw yourself down towards the floor. So just imagine your head is heavy. Slowly allow the shoulders to come forward. Slowly, we'll just very gently ease ourselves down. So just notice the spine gently opening up. Maybe put a little bit of a bend in your knees just to protect your spine. Allow the hands to become really heavy. So we're going to take a couple of breaths here. If you want to, you can also grab hold of your ankles. Just see if you can draw your nose slightly closer to your knees if you want to. But again, equally, just bring your hands onto the floor. Now we're going to just walk the fingertips away, come into that lovely downward dog. So again, stretching out the feet, pedaling away. Bringing the knees onto the floor. So we're going to come onto our bottoms. So again, if you want to, you can bring your handy blankets under your bum. It just makes it a little bit easier to allow the knees to drop where you need them to go. So we're going to bring both our feet out in front of us. Just give them a bit of a waggle just to relieve any tension anywhere. We're going to bring those knees up now. So just put a gentle bend in them. And we're going to bring your right leg, and we're just going to place it underneath your left knee. And bring your left knee over the top. So if you're already a bit tight in the hips, you might find that, you know, this knee won't go over. If that's absolutely fine, you can just straighten out your right leg so that your left leg wraps over the top of your right. So don't worry too much if you can't cross them. And if you've got issues with knees, either just straighten the bottom leg or make sure that you flex both of your feet as well, just to protect those knees. So then draw yourself nice and tall, bring the fingertips just level with the bottom, just drawing yourself nice and long. I'm going to just very gently bring the right hand, placing it on the floor, bring the left arm overhead. Nice, gentle stretch to the left side. Left hand down, right arm overhead. Come back down to centre. And then unravel those legs. And then same on the second side. So bring your left leg underneath your right knee. And then your right leg over the top. And you might find that one side feels a lot easier than the other. So again, if you're struggling this side, just straighten out your left leg and just allow that right leg just to drop out over top of your left leg. We're just trying to close up our hips. So just bring the hands level to the side. Bring the left hand onto the floor, just sweeping the right arm overhead for a lovely stretch in the right side of the body. Back to centre. Left arm coming over. And then back to centre. Just take a couple of breaths here. And now we're just going to come onto our backs, just slowly allowing ourselves just to rest on the floor. And just bringing your knees into the chest, which is just to relieve the spine. So we're going to bring both our feet on the floor and we're going to cross your right thigh over the left. So we're actually crossing the legs over top of each other. Now we're going to allow both our knees just to drop out to the right. So if you just get your left foot, just heel toe it slightly over to the left side of your mat. We're just going to allow both our knees to drop over to the right. So again, it will be a gentle pull in the lower back, so if it's a little bit strong, just put something underneath that thigh to stop you bringing the knees too close to the floor, just to protect the spine. And 2 or 3 breaths here. And gently bring both our knees back to centre. Place your right foot onto the floor, bring the left knee over the top, so left thighs on top of each other. So just heel toe that right foot just out to the right side of your mat, allowing both our knees just to slowly drop out to the left. So again, you might find it slightly stronger on one side than the other, which is absolutely fine. So again, if there's any too much pulling in that lower back, just pop something underneath this thigh just to stop it coming too close down to the floor. So you don't want to put too much strain on your lower back. And then drawing both our knees back to centre. We're going to bring them both into the chest and just do some very gentle rotations with those knees just to relieve any pain in the lower back. And again, it's a nice gentle massage on those sacral areas, so it's always quite nice to do a bit of self-care. And now we're going to just allow the legs just to come and rest on the floor. So just Maybe bringing them about a foot apart. Allow the feet just to drop out to the side. Just bring your arms by the side of your body with the palms up. Just see if you can just slide your shoulder blades underneath your back a little bit more. I'm going to have a few moments, a few breaths here, just to end our practice. And now slowly, just going to give ourselves a nice full body stretch. So just push the heels away, bring the arms above the head, slowly, really stretching out your body. Gently moving the fingertips, toes, just slowly waking yourself up. And I'm going to bring the knees back into the chest. Again, doing some nice gentle circles with those knees. And gently rolling onto one side. I'm just going to stay there just for a couple of breaths. Slowly just bring yourselves up into a nice seated position. So again, just taking your time coming up. Just allowing yourself just those last couple of moments of our practice just to enjoy those sensations of calm. We're going to bring the hands into our heart centre, just lowering the head. And just offering gratitude for taking this time out of your day to nurture your body. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.